Hello everyone, my name's FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. We have two objectives within this video. Number one, unlock all of the 6 side stories available for us to play. But number two, get the good ending of this game by going through each of the 3 different routes within this game in order to get to a better outcome when it comes with Monika. So let's do that, but we won't be necessarily going through a huge amount of Natsuki related stuff because we've already done her within our initial playthrough of the game. Man, it looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down to the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literally related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening on Sayori's conversation with Monika. We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all of the other clubs though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of literature sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know. We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Like creativity, for example. Something that speaks to the creative mind. It's almost like I thought ahead there. That doesn't solve the problem though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we could do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori's taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? What kind? Well, I guess we could. Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. Oh, you're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That'd work out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes speaks to my creative tummy. It speaks to your tummy. Monika. Cupcakes it is then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. Hungry isn't a feeling for Sayori, it's a mood. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. And just about Sayori, sorry. There she is. Open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fell out of my chair. Sorry. Wait, actually I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monika overheard. It's true, though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best, and likewise. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better, but you look out for yourself. You are still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this week have you gotten up on time? Let's see, how many fingers can we count in which the number of times should be on time for school? Exactly. It's a secret. I knew it. Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Sayori glanced around at herself. How is it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's head, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's toothpaste stain on your collar right here. I try to wipe off the stain with my finger, but nobody would even notice that. Shush! Of course they would. Nobody's going to tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, we don't care about that. Hey, you meanie. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori, Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend? Wow, that's a bit of a burn. Eh? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. Up close. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does this kind of things. Eh? Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Stupid. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? It probably wasn't like that in the past. I struggle to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I brought it, which was moons ago. If you even buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my bibs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so... why does it feel so strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Phew, that's so much better. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? Exactly. Not convincing, right? What kind of logic is that? And why are you saying that is like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. Eh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine, fine. It's a deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. Ah, but I was joking this time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone. Monica suddenly calls out, why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Flare, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. You can tell which character we're looking for at first, and then second, then third will be Natsuki. I failed to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, do you remember to write a poem last night? I absolutely did not forget. Okay, Sayori is first off the mark. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. Very good friend. Oh my goodness. This is so good, Flare. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Figures. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Or even Monica's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it so... Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people you know. So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem, it's a Flare poem. And that makes it feel extra special, like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. I'm really happy that you wrote one. Thanks. Right. We've already read through that shenanigans. Okay, next up we've got Monica. Let's see how you're doing. Hi, Flare. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you have any suggestions for a club like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Flare. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's a sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sort of things in common. Ah, well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you think. Psychologically similar, but the actual situation itself being different. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Let me just pull out my database and just check to see if I should delete Sayori just yet. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's handwriting has a kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each of their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying lots of different things. Next up, we will send this off to Yuri, whom is going to say the same thing, aren't you? Yeah, you're going to say the same thing regardless, so there's no point about one. Natsuki, this is going to be different. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. Excuse me? That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said that it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. A poem of how Sayori would write something is all about emotions. I was about to say emotional words. Emotions projected here and there. So basically it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Excuse me. What is it that I won't like? Exactly. Don't be like that for me, thank you very much. Sayori, let's see how this one portrays out. And another day passes, time for the club meeting already. We've done all this, it's all good, lovely, frank. We've done all this already, the introductions, but now it will be very different right about now. There we go. Flare, flare. Sayori suddenly comes up to me. I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Wanna come with me? Supplies? What for? Well, you know how a festival is coming up. Me and Monica were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go find some crayons and markers and glue sticks. I see. Sure, I'll go with you. Yay! Okay, Monica, we'll be back real soon. Are you going with Flare to get the supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. But I want to go. It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms and stuff. Okay, it was just a suggestion. See if you can find poster paper too, okay? Okay. Ready, Flare? Yep, let's go. Why did you reject Monica's request? Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as Sayori hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. It's the small things in life. Hey Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of the literature. Me and Monica have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. A performance? Of what kind? Well, everyone's gonna take turns on stage and recite their favourite poems. That sounds kind of dull. Flare, you're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems, it's about performing them. Like, you say the lines of a poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what end have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Like that. Sayori, how do I put this? I'm sure it's just me, but is it possible for me to take you seriously when you talk like that? You meanie. I'm working super hard on this, you know. Oh, I know. I just meant that it's a pretty unordinary contrast to your cute self. Don't say that, it's embarrassing. But I guess that means I'm doing a good job. Yeah, I guess so. I'm so excited. The festival's going to be so much fun. Yep. No hanging around, okay? Sayori spins herself around in the hallway again. Hey Flare, this classroom over here is empty. Let's begin the mission. The mission, eh? It's been a long time since I spent time with Sayori like this, but in the end she hasn't changed one bit. She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from the world around her. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me. As the years went by, I began to hole myself up in my room more and more. So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. Lovely! The two of us into the classroom. Sayori heads straight to the closet and I follow. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons! Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off of the shelf. They're the best brand too. They're kind of dirty though. Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the colour names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted, we still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favourite colour. Fine. Then at least move aside so I can look for a poster paper. Oh, I dropped one by accident. Ouch. Ah! Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. How could you be so ditzy? She falls to the floor and the crayon spills all over her lap. Ow! You okay? My forehead. Sayori clutches her forehead. Jeez, Sayori. That's just like you, isn't it? Come on, let's see. Since Sayori is still sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori. But it hurts. Just do it for a second. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side. Ow! Sorry. There's a huge red mark on the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Man, that's gonna swell up. I should find you some ice. Flare? Where would I even find ice around this time? I'll get a cold drink. I guess a cold drink would do. You don't have to. I'm fine with looking like a unicorn. No! Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. What are you saying? I'll be right back, okay? Okay. And when we get back, I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? It doesn't really matter since it'll be used as an ice pack rather than to drink. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchase that one. In just a moment, I'll already return to the classroom where I left Sayori. And she has one palm on her forehead and is using the other to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Sayori, here. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts. You're not supposed to drink from it, for goodness sakes. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, idiot. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her forehead. It stings. Just bear with it. It'll feel better soon. Looks like you cleaned up most of the crayons, so that's good. Hey, Flare. This kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? Eh? What do you mean? You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fall behind or had trouble climbing on for the things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump. And I would start crying really hard. And you would rush over as quickly as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it really wasn't your fault at all, you know. Did I really do that? Yeah, you don't remember? Come to think of it, maybe I do remember a bit. I guess I was always so focused on my games that I didn't pay enough attention to you. So in a way, it was my fault. Kind of like this time too. If I wasn't rushing you out of a closet, you probably would have hit your head. Flare, I don't think you realise it, but you're always thinking about other people. Even after all these years, you're rushing to help me, even though I'm just being clumsy. You're really a sweetheart. Don't call me that. And I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels neutral. Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. I guess that's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Really? Maybe you're right. Flare, I'm so glad that nothing's changed between us. Do you think it'll be like this forever? Forever? I doubt it. If I'm honest to myself, There's no telling where we'll end up for college or after that. So it wouldn't be fair for me to make any promises, but, well, I hope so. It's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical expression in her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that when I see her deep in thought like this, it makes me not want to disturb her. I guess we should head back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know. Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. I don't think that's gonna work. Sayori hops to her feet. Ah! She clutches her forehead again. Don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. She's gonna notice there's gonna be something wrong. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs, trying to hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we'll make it back to the club room. Hello! Ah, you're back! Good time, I was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. Sayori, your forehead. She's fine, don't worry about. I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf. Well, anyway, were you able to find everything we needed? I have it right. Eh? Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all the stuff. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper too. Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Flare. Well, Sayori... I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made an adventure. Yeah, that. Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Me too. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. And now let's do this. It's going to be Sayori first, for goodness sakes. And Flare, I really love your poems. I can't believe you've been hiding these from me. I'm not hiding anything, Sayori. But your poems are so good. Super good. Yesterday's and this one too. You can't tell me you haven't done this before. I have not done this before. Richmond, no! I mean, you're really the only one who feels that way, so... Eh? No way! Not even Natsuki? Well, I guess Natsuki is the least likely to admit how much she likes something. But I don't think it's that. What do you mean? Well, I guess I'll be honest about it. It's a lot easier to write poems when I'm thinking about you. Eh? What? Stop thinking weird things, idiot. I just mean that you're a really expressive person, I guess. How am I supposed to write poems about my own stupid life? But you somehow make everything in your life an adventure. Even the little things. Like cooking? Let's not talk about that. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I can feel more feelings through you than I can through myself. And I'm sure the other way around can be notified. We have that kind of weird connection. It's your fault for getting in my business all the time. Eh? I don't know if I understand. You never understand when I try to explain things to you, do you, Sayori? I pat Sayori's head. Hey, I'm not a kid, you know. Anyone can receive pats, you know. Are you sure about that? Maybe. Sayori starts fiddling with a pencil between her hands. Hey, Flare, will you give me your poem? I kind of want to keep it. Huh? Why? Because, well, it's the first time you've written something for me. Sayori, you completely misunderstood. I didn't write this for you. Are you even listening anymore? Well, whatever. I'll give it to you when we go home. Really? Snap. Ah! I broke my pencil! Sayori hastily bends down to pick up the piece she dropped, but being inattentive as soon as she bumps right into me. Sorry! It's fine. I'll get it for you. I bend down to pick up the broken pencil. Sayori clutches the desk beside her to support herself, knees shaking. I am a little clumsy today. Let's sit down, Sayori. Yeah. I grab Sayori's arm and help her sit at the desk. Anyway, so I haven't read your poem. Oh? Sorry, I forgot about that. But it's not as good as yours. Jeez, don't worry. I'm sure I'll like it. I'm sure I'll like it as well. Okay, so it's the same as last time. About bottles and happy thoughts and stuff like that. Bleeding something. Yeah, we've read that before in our initial playthrough. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but, I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself that way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah. Writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing till I die. Nah. Don't get ahead of yourself. Well, with this game cycle, it's shorter than you'd think, so I think that would be the case. One of those times, we're seeing passionate eyes, makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Exactly. Who's next? We're gonna be... You wrote Natsuki next. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one, but I can't really say it's any better either. Phew. Phew for what? Oh, well, anything that isn't a train wreck I'll take as a win. And I get a feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait, maybe that was a compliment. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, it was meant to be a compliment. Glad to see someone recognizes my experience. Recognizes with a Z, huh? Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good as me someday. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. Come to think of it, that kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. You think so? Yeah, well I guess if you've been friends with her for so long you might be on the same wavelength. But you never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know, but honestly, how could someone so fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. That's a little unnecessary. But think of it this way, if it weren't for me, she would probably just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say that we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Let's see, Amy likes spiders, the same one as before. It's usually the third poems that are different. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yes, and this is definitely, it's what I do best after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it, like conveying emotions is important, but I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm going to write a good one for tomorrow too, so look forward to it. Thanks, Natsuki. So, Monica next. We'll do Yuri last. Hi again, thank you. Okay, it just takes one. The writing's going well, thank you. As long as it's not going bad, I'm happy you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. And, alright, it's pretty good. It makes me think Sayori, like the other one that you wrote. You two are like that dynamic duo. That's kind of exaggerating it. Yeah, probably. But you do spend a lot of time with her even in this club, don't you? Then again, I don't blame you for being a little shy. I'm not shy, it's just... I'm just teasing. I know it takes a bit of time to make friends with everyone. But Yuri and Natsuki are super interesting people, so don't be afraid to give them their share of time. And you can talk to me every now and then too. I'm not, like, unapproachable or anything, am I? Yes, you are unapproachable. No, it's nothing like that. I'm just still getting used to being here, that's all. Yeah, I'm sorry if I was putting pressure on you or something. I really didn't mean it like that, of course, Monica. No, don't worry. I get what you're saying. Well, alright. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Let's have a look at this. Let's see, it's the Save Me one. And there's no big block capital letters on some of the writing itself. Load me. Because the other one says delete her. Let's just get over this. Yuri. Hello. Let's see what you've written for today. The same as before. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems. So, We have this conundrum here, which goes on about the festival preparations, and etc, etc, etc. So I am thinking that there is... Wait a minute, where did Yuri come into this all of a sudden? I would not do that, thank you very much. She's so beautiful and... Yeah, maybe, but not in our taste in this particular timeline. Sayori, thank you. Now we begin another day of poetry giving to others and sharing stuff like that. Oh man, you were the last one again because you're practicing piano, you're meddling with Sayori, for goodness sakes. I know how these things go. I know how all these things go. Let's see, Sayori first. And this is your best one so far. It's really, really nice, Flare. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything alright? Of course. Everything is fine. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Don't you want to take a nap or something? Do you want to take a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Well, alright. Hey, Flare. I'm still a little surprised. I really thought you would try to write your poems like the way Yuri does. Would you stop going about another person? Or even Natsuki? But in the end, yeah, I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? You don't want to get close with everyone else. Wait, of course I do. But that doesn't mean I need to try so hard to impress them. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you have to sometimes put up with me, and I have to sometimes put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something. And this is how the poem came out. Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. So sometimes it's just easier to write when thinking about you. Sayori? No. Flare. I don't deserve this. You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be... How would it be any easier? Tell me, Sayori, how would it be any easier if I had fun with, well, more fun with everyone else? Tell me exactly, because even if we did have fun with someone else, you'd be on the total end of the other end of the spectrum by thinking, I don't want him to have fun with everyone else because I want him to be mine. Sayori, I glance around the room to make sure nobody has noticed this. Sayori, I probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing, Flare. It's just a little rain cloud. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Yeah, right. Just smiles from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. Go play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling very well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Monica! Hi, Flare. Have you thought about what you submit? Okay. And Sayori again. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing as much of her this past year, but since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me about how Sayori's been a little bit off today. Yeah, did she tell you something? Well... Flare, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not! I've been treated like I always do. Alright, just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her, so keep an eye on her. Shut up, Monica. Sayori's been acting so much happy ever since she joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll show you my poem now and everything like that, and it's still the same poem I imagine. Who shall I show my poem to next? Natsuki again. Hello. This one's alright. Alright, well yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyways. And the day before. I see what you're going for, but it's just not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? No, gross. It's not like I care. It's just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? That's, it's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of funny to hang out here, even after I pull up with you. Natsuki elbows connect with my stomach. Oh, maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. The elbow to the stomach is not a joke. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway, holds out one other poem. And here we go. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminish your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place. Diminish is a big word for her. A beach for us to go to. A shore reaching beyond your sight. A sea that sparkles with bright light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. That you daydream about every day, each day. That makes your heart leap in a way that you thought you had left you long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand, bathe in the sunbeams and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail. Step you free in my windy sail. And remember the reasons you're wonderful when you push your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away, that you daydream about each day, that makes your heart leap in a way. Okay, I've done that. But if you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. That's big. Yeah? I felt like if I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kinda hard to write anything negative about a beach. Besides the scorching sun and the scorching sands. Well, Yuri's take on it was a little more solemn. Well, gee, she better not have said anything bad about mine. I thought she was the one who wanted us to write about the same topic. Ugh, you can really see her doing that too. Making us want to write about a simple topic, then trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. I love you. I love you. Eh? Those are my true feelings. So, there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, helped me realize that you are truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens, as long as we continue like this every day, with you by my side. Then I know we'll both be happy. Flare. Aww. Suddenly Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Flare, is this really okay? Yeah. I hold Sayori in my arms and pull her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Flare. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought that this would be the happiest moment of my life, but why? Even now. Why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all, Flare. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again, but no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Okay, I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow. Our first date, huh? What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know? I want everything to be the same as it always has been, even if we're the couple. I don't know if I can handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace best suits you best. Hey Flare? Sayori gazed at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? I don't understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. It feels like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me, but that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that in reality I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her and she loves me, but I'm having much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is, even though I can't comfort her. I keep wondering if I should do something more, or something different. I know these feelings will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know, but I know that I'll give it everything I've got. And I think that is the last sentence of that section, which means we're going to need to manipulate with the game in order to get a different outcome. Which is what we're going to be doing by altering the different things in which we select within our poem time. This time with Yuri. Secretive Yuri as we go about. Actually, I've just thought of something. Let me see what changes have been made within the X-Team DDLC section now. Okay, side stories. Okay, so we have respect and balance. So that's what happens when we select an all Sayori kind of path. Is that we unlock Natsuki's one along with the final Sayori one. So we have all Sayori's and 2 of Monika's ones. So we need now Monika and Yuri and Natsuki and Yuri. And that will be all 6 of them then. Pictures. Different pictures. Nothing on the poem side, so that's a bit alarming. Different CGs unlocked because of being with Sayori. Those are more secrets unlocked. No more backgrounds unlocked. Very interesting. Let's see. In Act 1, try both Sayori and Monika for weekend. Help before choosing. I actually did that, so that was a bit funny. And this is the sketch of Sayori's second CG, cut out and aligned with the angle of the background. Because the backgrounds were first rendered in 3D, some fine adjustments were required to make sure the 2D drawing of the character fits seamlessly into the perspective of the scene. Write all 3 poems for Sayori. That's why I did that. But it could be combinations for like different characters, which is what I'm very eager to do. So like different combinations unlocking different characters. Yeah, it could be one or a few which could cater towards, well, you've done one person for one day for another person, the other day for another person, and then the last one for the last one. Something like that. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover on her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's what you gave me, right? I want to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Really? Oh, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging, relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by those people who escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri genuinely giggles. All of a sudden, are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Flare? But no, it's not. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that with those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective, when horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with a villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Passionate. You're passionate, Yuri. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. What kind of problem? When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something that I'm not very used to. That is, reading company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. Not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realise that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologise a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. You're defeating my point by doing it again. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Okay, Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, do you want to be really weird so they played like a game of Twister where Yuri is holding the right side of a book, but she's on the left side, and the polar opposite for protagonist. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you're being so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own violation. we continue with the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of a page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. You remain silent for a moment, but Flare, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I don't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I'm more meant it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Thank you, Monica. I think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is everything alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. No, it's not. It's fine. Yuri released her hand from the book, causing it to close on the top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know. That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up and make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back in my bag. I did write a poem, sorry. Yuri first. Yuri seems more experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Fair, you say? Her eyes glisten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her own whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? None. The equivalent of nothing. Your use of imaginary metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. You must be a natural at this, for goodness sakes. This is not a first-timer. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yeah, okay, this is the reason I was able to tell. Specific writing habits, but, of course... It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all of this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you. For everyone. Me too. Me too. And look who's not going to like it, Natsuki. Flare, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We'll start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each of their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you would probably think it's stupid. I don't think it's stupid whatsoever, so why do you think that? Oh, dear, dear, dear. Bit judgmental, she is. Right, Sayori. This is a good poem, Flare. Are you sure it's a good poem? I believe she would say that regardless if it is either Yuri or Natsuki. Monica. I should have a different opinion though. Let's see. Great job, Flare. I was going all in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes to use simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. And that's the lovely thing about stories, is that when they have got a lot of grammar and persuasion in it, it leaves it up to the reader to get their own conclusions from it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyse all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I am assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things along the way. So now it is up to these two and their squabble, but now we need to differ between certain things, like Yuri. Natsuki, you're right, but I liked your poem. See? Wait, that's not an excuse for me to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone else's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting their feelings into it, and it becomes something very personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. At this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. It will spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Wow. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumbles up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki... She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well... Alright, I believe you. Thanks, Blair. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah, let's do that. Second day of wonderful poetry writing. For Yuri, that is, even though I'm thinking that was Yuri. Oh well. Universe and other things. Effulgent Yuri. All these different kind of words, honestly. It's really embarrassing at the end of the day. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. Lovely! Let's see, usual Sayori stuff and Yuri, and Natsuki joins the fray. At least Natsuki has cheered up in a way. Now then, let's continue reading that book. Hey Yuri! Yeah? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Ah, no. I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's... Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Thanks, but we make it better too, even though this is only the second day we've been reading with you. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water. Lovely. Me with words, am I right? I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have a water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? Yuri's going to make some tea, so... I suddenly realised how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's... Monica... Wow, that's a bit rude, Yuri. Or do you want to tell me if there's something wrong with helping involve Flare in club activities? Eh? My mouth gaps. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Flare. That was rather rude of Yuri. I'm sorry, Monica. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri, something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Flare, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you'd say. Yuri lifts her head. Flare, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah, shall we go? Yeah. You and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. The wonderful classroom. Do you like all-on tea? Ah, yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Fahrenheit, I imagine, otherwise it will boil the water. Now it's time to get the teapot completely. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I should do anything less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you notice. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided I'll try to expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do, when it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worried about me, Flare. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Flare, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why is that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Ah, sorry, I didn't realise. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's mostly because my posture, right? Your posture or your wrists. Your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes! I have terrible reading posture. Yeah, good rescue, Yuri. The MC doesn't recognise that there's something up with all that, so that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I'll retrieve a book from my bag. I'll have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies I keep hidden from Sayori's candy radar. Sayori's candy radar. I take it since this will go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups on our side. Yeah, it's basically a section of the bag, but on the outside of the bag itself it contains vegetables. Probably because Sayori doesn't like vegetables. And it's in the sink, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book, except this time, our bodies are even close to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer till our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri's always kind of cute, but when she's been less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Hold it with my hand that's not holding the book. I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing, which is nice. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Ah, sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. Ah, that's okay, I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudged on the pages. Ah, you're right. I didn't even think about it. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Let's see. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri's totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and plop it into my mouth. I was always going to say something like, well, let me rest my right hand on top of Yuri's left leg. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I preemptively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Flare... Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have done that. That's... well... You were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. So the situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by expression that she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. But it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel hot. I feel hot with my fingers. Okay, everyone. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Flare, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up a bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling that this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Exactly. Yuri first. Then, let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Flare, this one might be even better than yesterday's. How'd you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why you did a good job explaining? I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? Compliments? I don't know. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying that you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself, and besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh? Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Thanks. Well, this is the raccoon story. I think the last one's going to be different. I was just more daring with that one. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're so embarrassing, and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Flare? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, yes. Even if it's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I haven't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I'll probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, don't worry, Yuri, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Flare. But that's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling, and you're to thank for that. It's nothing really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment her timidness seems to disappear. For just a little moment. Sayori, we'll do Natsuki third. We'll go down the list. And, oh, I like this one, Flare. It has some nice feelings in it. Oh, I'm glad. Does it mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go with my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure how exactly it works, but it is something, you know. Let's see. Let's do Natsuki next. She won't be very happy with it. She'll think it's bleh. Well, I can admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops short all of a sudden. Why mention the word Yuri? Don't tell me. Yeah? You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? No. How dare you assume me as that kind of thing? What are you talking about? And keep your voice down. You know Yuri would love this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean... Ugh. Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve. Though what I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, but don't show it for me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. Wink wink. Monica. Hello. Writing's going very well. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? Hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just mean that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself, but still defending her like that. You must be pretty into her. You're completely misunderstood. Calm down, just kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Really? Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional... Oh dear, Monica kind of whispers that last part to me, but it is a defining difference. It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway... Choosing that one, and now we're gonna need to put plans and preparation to place of to what kind of things are going down for the festival. Maybe that's even tomorrow, actually. Just this and just that and something along the lines. I would like to walk home with Yuri. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. Ah, you admitted it. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't... Sayori, what's with that kind of language? Sayori, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry, everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. Oh dear, kind of hurtful trapping me with such a weird question, but for goodness sakes. The festival was only a few days ago, so you never know. A few days away, I mean, not a few days ago, so we don't know what's going to be covered in this time around. Is it just me, or is the green on the top left different, depending on each day? I thought the lighter screen was on the left-hand side. Infinite Yuri. Let's see what goes about on this time and day and stuff like that. Let's see, we're here again, and we're going to be spending our time... Honestly, why does it feel like I'm being watched? Is somebody watching us? I glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away just quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realise she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you want to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you even able to tell what I was thinking? Well, it's something that I do a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. Really, Yuri? I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly stare in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I'll be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic. Sorry, I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. Oh, I see. Perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a bit too much. Flare, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think there might be something behind it after all? I think Miss Yuri is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on the inside of her head, and she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behaviour today too, and I also feel some concern for her, but in your case, it looks like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves, and you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she'll be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri? You're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm a pretty simple guy as well. What you see is what you get. So I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Glorious. Yuri first. And another sophisticated one, Flare. Your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you show me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me. But I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling, I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Yeah, what exactly do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Flare, during lunchtime I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with, or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face, or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day, you know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Flare. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. What is normal, though? And guess what you're doing right now? You're talking to another person. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Flare. I speak too slowly. I second guess myself all the time. Don't we do that a bit, all of us, when it comes to second guessing? I'm sure some of you in the comments will be able to know that you'll be able to second guess. I read too deeply into things. I do that as well sometimes, but every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined the club hoping I would make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands, but this time she's smiling as she does it. Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Aha, Ghost Under the Light Part 2. So this wasn't the second one which was written, but the third one. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing in the distant. A blue-green light flickers, a lone figure crosses path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette glows, closer, closer. Open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I'm too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers, my heart pounds. He raises arms. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding? I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri, but instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? Oh, no, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it was hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So, thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Ah, there's a smile there. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I was going to try to hand the poem back to her, but instead, Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back to me, toward me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back toward me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something, but I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. And now it is the turn of the Sayori, actually. Hello. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell that you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri. Why? Eh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not what I meant though. But it's okay. You're making new friends just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club. Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Flare. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright, just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. For goodness sakes, you gotta go home a little bit early today? Goodness sakes. God damn it, Sayori! Stop giving in and caving into your own feelings and emotions. Don't bottle stuff up. Your style's gotten so refined, Flare. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple of days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You certainly put in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's... It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the club room every day, reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure that she doesn't spend all of her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know. Alright, I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up, so if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. I'm used to hearing American authors saying band-aid rather than bandage, so that's why I kind of auto went to band-aid. You say that I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I don't really mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, let's skip forward in time. Natsuki's going to be like, bleh. Yeah, no thanks. He didn't even next. How judgmental, Natsuki. We shall go with Yuri this time. Well, I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying. Ugh. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Flare? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sort of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah, I already said I would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour, because she didn't receive my help when she pushed me away and didn't want to read my poem. What would you think if somebody didn't read your poem and then they're a little sour because they didn't select you as a person that they want to be over the weekend to help you with your chores for the festival? Natsuki's still my favourite poem. So, is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Flare? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it turns out. This is good enough for you. Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No, that's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Flare picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so, I get it. I'm kind of surprised though. But why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that, but you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri's trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work out perfectly, I could tell that she's trying to say something Sayori would say at the time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kind of appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. But I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head on out. Alright, let's get out there then. Out of here then. But I started following Monica and Natsuki out the door as they chat between each other. I turn around. Sorry. I realised I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay, then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday? My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house and the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense, but if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. What motives do you have here, Yuri? Unlike Natsuki's, who has a clear understanding of why we wouldn't do it at her place, i.e. her parent, Yuri's intentions of going around ours a bit more mysterious, or at the very most, very suspect. Alright, in that case it won't be a problem. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I manage to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Flare. I think that will make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? Come on, Yuri, give us some more credit. I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason that you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with you're forgetting the one with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this again. You want me to point out when you were overthinking, right? Eh? I didn't realise. I'm telling you I want to. That's all there is to it. Don't you believe me? Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to this Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. Lovely. I cannot believe this. Yuri is going to be coming to my house on Sunday. My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school though, exactly. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Is this a chance I have to make something happen between us, or is it too early for that? I would say usually it's too early, but we may never know. We visited the Demogorgon's house of panic, and now we're here. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Ah, thank goodness. You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I'd known, I reassured you and hurried more on my way. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go on inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right. I'm sure it will be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine as well. I take Yuri to my room and she's probably inspecting everything as she goes around. Analytically. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. I cleaned it before you came over, so that's very considerate of you to do. No, I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. That would be even more embarrassing. Yeah, even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine, it's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, should we get started? Yes. Well, I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh wow, I didn't know you planned on taking it this far. Of course, I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity, and for cupcakes I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? Either way, but no, not at all. It's something that I really like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. Gosh, this recording's going on for 2 hours. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some fees for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. What's that wooden thing though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Ah, is that so? It's one of my favourite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Atmosphere. Anyways, depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes the cylinder, pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through the small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions, helps you feel them through your body. You feel warmer, and your heart pounds more heavily. Right. Don't you think that would be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently. It's not the sweet smile that Monica provides, but the gentle one which we can actually trust. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word onto each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang on from the doorway of the classroom. Then, we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room, sorry. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose you get a little intense, as you put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels for sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker flare. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Ah, alright. Sit on the floor together as two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to a desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Eh? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Well... Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. Because I'm going to pull out something that you'll find really weird. And you're going to think that there's nothing to judge about that. Or it may make you run away because it's something that is very bad to pull out. Anyways, to each their own, you know. If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you've got about sharing. It's, well, it's an interesting thing to get into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife, I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife, with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of a knife with my index finger. Ow! Flare! Why did you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. Ah! She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll wash it off now. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound? That's really erotic. I feel a tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I accidentally pull my hand back. Oh, please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her hand, her face burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure, it was a little weird and it took me by surprise. But I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I'll do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her finger in return. Flare! Did you really just do that? And now we're even. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew this would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Flare. Yuri giggles shyly. Eh? Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one, actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it's already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension's quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through ribbon like it's nothing but air. There's no momentum loss. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking come out with this, Yuri. Ah, thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do that. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. Ah, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in, sorry. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. You didn't specify if it needs to be warm or cold though. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you feel the cup's too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. Yeah, that's for the best. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back to my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeves, put it back over her arm. Ah, nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? Not at all. There's something wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hardly dismisses me and takes upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. It's not exactly a cold day, so why are you wearing a thick sweater? So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colours of the sunrise, then daytime, then sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Ah, neat. What are you going to write? Well, it'll be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles. For goodness sakes, the outside noise scared me because I thought it was my computer making that noise. If you say so. After rolling out of the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colours across the banner to serve as a colour guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting a banner with watercolours feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if this feels too childish. No, I don't mean it that at all. It's kind of fun, you know. Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself, for me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person. That's what partners do. Even if it's something simple like reading, it doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you would understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Gah! Sorry. Yuri wheels back and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Your face! There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Is something wrong? It's hot. I just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I started to retract my hand, but Yuri suddenly holds onto my wrist. Wait. Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books, almost as if she's lost in her days, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. She is really pretty, really beautiful. What is happening? Is it the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers, wrapped around my waist, sent a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly, her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry, I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. It's okay, the moment's over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. You know, before I play Doki Doki Literature Club, the only Yuri I'd know is from Yuri's Revenge from Command & Conquer. I finished filling the... do you know what we both have in common? This Yuri and that Yuri both are associated with the colour purple. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then you have to bring it in the morning. I could do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? No, it's not that. I'm just glad we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I'll need to start making dinner soon. So you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we'd have extra time after finishing our work. Well... Yuri thinks to herself. I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done right exactly because we're limited on materials. Getting something right is better than trying to rush it and mucking it up. Yeah, so I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounds like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment, but that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Indeed, once Yuri packs up, I walk her out to the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem, I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then, Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, I can't say that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over or we could go out somewhere. Oh, I forgot you didn't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so you're very thoughtful, Flare. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't get the chance to, as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Sayori? Eh? Hello, Sayori. Hi, Flare. Sayori. Just now we weren't... It's okay, Flare. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry, but we'll be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course. Sayori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Oh dear, I thought you didn't want to come over today, so yeah, this is neutral stuff. With all of that in tow, I need to redo Natsuki's route, but it won't take anywhere near as long because we've already covered it in our initial playthrough of the game. Natsuki? Yuri, you're really talented. Well... But Natsuki has a point. I think that... I rack my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be just impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over, and Natsuki's poem did a really good job with that. Yeah! It did, didn't it? Shows how much... Look, that's not... Natsuki, I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a very personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori's nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that barely audible. Yuri? Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not you need to apologize for me, Flare. Sheesh. Now she takes a breath. The thing about... Natsuki glances around the room. Will everyone stop staring at me? I'm surprised if Natsuki has a harder time with it, she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your... I didn't mean it okay. That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori. I'll go make some tea. I was just trying to help. You make things awkward. I'm sure she appreciated Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Now that we're past that, everyone's read each other's poems, right? Hope it was worthwhile for everyone. Yeah, it sure was. Thanks! Why me? It's a nice change of pace with the lazing around we got a bit little too used to. Thanks! So my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere? No, not at all. There's still time before we go home, so we'll relax a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we could do literature-related things in the club room. So maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monica. About what? That's not the most important part about the Literature Club. The most important thing is to have fun. It's having fun. Ah, of course. Well, I guess that's why you're Vice President, Sayori. We need a good, stable leader. In the end, though, Monika's right. Being in the Literature Club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Worth. Before we continue down Natsuki's route, let's just look at this. Let's see. We've got understanding, respect, balance. Okay, so we've got reflection, self. We've got all 6. We have all 6 of them. This, okay, so that was called self. We'll do this in order actually. When we get to the stage, we'll do trust first, then understanding, then respect, then balance, then reflection, then self-love. I didn't want to try and pick any kind of order, so we'll just do it in the order in which the game has given these parts to us. So that's really nice. I also think some of the backgrounds are only unlocked when we get to these stages, because there's a number of these backgrounds, also poems as well, that could be the play, which are not unlocked yet. Like, I've gone through the game, I've unlocked the ones that you find within the game. Okay, so that one's unlocked too. And we've gone through that process. And let's see, in Act 1, write all 3 poems by Yuri. Lovely. Any others down here? Select the word horror during the poem game. Okay. Make it through the weekend without pressing skip. Thanks. In Act 2, get through the weekend. I was staring at one thing and one thing only because our script has been frozen by Monika and Yuri. This special poem is not happy. It doesn't contain happy thoughts either. This isn't a poem. This is an imagery of a very, very tall stick man of Sayori. That's what it is, a very tall stickman like Slender Man. Another one, a joke. A man walks into the club. In the club there was a girl who liked him very much. They spent some time together and then she liked him even more. One day the girl realised she was in love with him. Before a disaster could happen, a third party intervened with her programming. Suddenly the girl hated herself for being in love. This contradiction was caused the script to derail. The universe started to collapse, but she killed herself just in time. This is Sayori without a question or shadow of doubt, because she's the only one in this game that has initially done that. Yikes. Too stoked. What would this one be then? Delete Monika twice while getting deleted 0 times? Like, is that even a way to be able to get it deleted 0 times? I'm looking at the achievement now. Delete Monika twice while getting deleted 0 times, so no idea what that could be. Like, we could eventually be deleted if we keep going on with her narratives for long enough. But there's no, like, 4th wall breakages or anything like that. I guess the meeting's over, huh? Yeah, it looks like it. It's nice to see everyone getting along. So we deleted Monika for the 2nd time. Isn't it? I think everyone likes you too, Flare. You think so? Well, everyone always seems to get along a little better with you around, Sayori. Aw, Flare, don't say something like that. It's embarrassing. Well, whatever. I was surprised when you told me that you're starting a club, but I think you're pulling it off just fine. We're going to make it the best club ever. Now that you joined, every day is going to be so much fun. Hey, Flare, I really want to thank you. I mean, I'm really happy that you joined the club and everything, but the truth is, I already knew you were going to. There's actually something else. I wanted to thank you for spending so much time with us all. You worked so hard to make each and every one of us happy. You comforted us for our hard times, and you helped us get along with each other. Sorry. Do you get it, Flare? Because I'm present now. I understand everything. You really didn't want to miss a single thing in this game, did you? You saved and loaded so many times, just to make sure you could spend time with everyone. Only someone who truly cares about the Literature Club would go that far. But, all in all, that's all I ever wanted. For everyone to be happy and care about each other. It's kind of sad, you know. After all you've done for us, there isn't much I can do for you in return. We've already reached the end of the game, so this is where we say goodbye. Thank you for playing Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm going to miss you, Flare. Come visit us sometime, okay? We'll always be here for you. Aw, Sayori, we all love you. Aw, you made me feel guilty, Sayori. and Monika's lack of interference means that there is no way in which Monika can overthrow Sayori this time around.
Hi, it's me. So you know how I've been like practicing piano and stuff?
Yeah?
And not really any good at it yet, like at all.
We all start off bad with
But
something.
I wrote you a song.
Me a song?
And I was kind of hoping that I could show it to you.
For me?
I worked really, really hard on it.
Sounds like you're getting on a chair or something.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. DDSC OGG.
Every day I imagine a future where I can be
With you.
In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and
You.
The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand right the way into his heart.
Into his heart.
But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day?
What will it take just to find that special day? I'm off sync there, but don't worry. But we did it. We got the good end. It was apparent within the dialogue with Sayori. And here we go. Is it going to be deleted? Oh no! Image not found, but we found all of them though. Like, I thoroughly love going throughout this game again. I really have, just experiencing all these different things. But we're far from done yet. We still have all the side stories to go through. I've let this recording go on for about 3.5 hours, but a lot of it as well has just been break time and just skipping through a lot of the game, which I've already gone through. Lovely. That situation can be misinterpreted as something else, but I don't think we'll delve into that. But there's Yuri here as well. Like, Yuri asking the protagonist to hold on just a little bit longer because of that warm feeling. Then there's Sayori, in a similar way, helping her out. But for goodness sakes, could you even imagine something like that? Where you have to help your friend get dressed and make sure they don't have toothpaste on their ribbon? Like, all the small things of this game just really add up. And it's a huge magnitude of big things as well. Of going through the entire game from each of the different events. Then there's this last finale of sorts with the boss of the game. But thank you. Thank you to the team and to everybody who has been involved with the game. I believe I said something quite similar when it came to me originally going through this game. Move. Damn. All that script removal. Made with love by Team Salvato and published by Serenity Forge. Aha, Dan says hi. Not Monika this time, it is Dan the man himself. To the special player who received his ending, for years I've been gnawed by the ability of visual novels and games in general, to tell stories in ways not possible using traditional media. Correct. Doki Doki Literature Club is my love letter to that. Games are an interactive art. Some let you explore new worlds. Some challenge your mind in brand new ways. Some make you feel like a hero or a friend, even when life is hard. Some games are just plain fun, and that's okay too. Everyone likes different kinds of games. People who enjoy dating sims may have a heightened empathy for fictional characters, or they might be experiencing feelings that life has not been kind enough to offer them. If they are enjoying themselves, then that's all that matters. That goes for shooting games, casual games, sandbox games, anything. Preferences are preferences, and our differences are the reason we have a thriving video game industry. It is the single biggest kind of fictional market there is, overthrowing music and every other kind of industry combined through the power of video games. My own favourite games have always been ones that challenge the status quo. Even if not a masterpiece, any game that attempts something wildly different may earn a special place in my heart. Anything that further pushes the limitless boundaries of interactive media. I extend my gratitude to all those who have taken the time to achieve full completion. I hope you enjoyed playing it as much as I have enjoyed it. Thank you for being a part of my literature club. Love, Dan Salvato. Ah, this moment. And here we are. So there is the love letter from Dan Salvato. And one of these was the letter from Monica herself, which I can't seem to find. Dan. So acquire all of Yuri's other poems. Okay. Monica's 5 normal message to the player. Okay, so this is the bad ending. Or the normal ending. Whatever you want to call it. So yeah, only 3 secrets. I feel I should have discovered more than just that. Okay. Achieve a special ending of the story. So these are just a colourless chirpy of the different characters which appears when you do the poems. Okay, achieve a special ending of the story. So Natsuki is facing a different angle. Yeah, it was changed to make her pose more natural and candid rather than striking a model-like pose. I can understand, actually. So, I think regarding any minus super secret avenues, like selecting a very specific kind of dialogue, in the next time around we'll be going to each and every one of these side stories, because this is the main meat and potato as to why you would purchase the Doki Doki Literature Club Plus version over just keeping the free version of the game, or you can have both. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I know there's been quite a long video, but I feel like I need to get to this done. Get it all done in one video, and then move on to the side story. So I have my final verdict when we get to each of these, going through trust, understanding, respect, balance, reflection, and self-love. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves.